These to amaze us, however, are those that come in the greatest numbers, literally by the million, or perhaps even by the billion. And according to the encyclopedias of birds, actually fly the furthest. These little birds spend their summers on the Great Lakes of Canada. One day, en masse, when the weather is correct, the time is right, they'll set off over the Arctic Circle, down over the Scandinavian countries, over Holland, Belgium, France, Spain, and the 220 miles of water, and before they reach here, they never stop. They feed on the wing. Totally bedraggled, exhausted. We see them here, resting up for a couple of weeks before one day they fly off over the Southern Sea. The 195 miles to Algeria, North Africa, and then of course apparently they fly the full length of Africa because they spend their winters in South Africa, just to do it all over again in the reverse direction some 4 months later. They must be totally loco, but they are the 3 distinct types of swallows that fly through here. And when I say by the million, I really do. You know, the sky's absolutely blackened with them. It's an amazing sight. And it's the reason why the island, when all the hotels are closing, almost out of season, we have a huge number of people, not only from the UK, but other parts of Europe, rambling associations, bird watchers, artists and photographers coming and staying in what we call casa señorials, senior houses, those little manor houses which in recent years have been converted into what is called agro-tourism, little private hotels, 8 to 12 bedrooms, where people stay amongst the farm animals and enjoy what Menorca really is all about. Well, that's its nature. The fastest growing tourism, in fact, on Menorca in the last 10 years has been agro-tourism. Not by number, but in percentage. And all those little hotels from the, what we were saying, manor houses, they call them casa señorials, literally built by the British officers as their estate houses around the island. That is, of course, from the 18th century. So Cala Galdana, the Queen of Bays of the Mediterranean, as it's referred to. And although we've got dozens of bays like this around Menorca, because we've got more beaches than Mallorca, Ibiza and Formentera put together, not only in number but also land area, 124 beaches altogether, only 23 of which are actually built on or close by. This one is one of the best that's been built on. Well, thanks to you all, we're just about spot on time here. Our excursion manager. First of all, taking 2 people up at the roundabout here, then we're going to the Audax Hotel, a beautiful hotel I remember from 35 years ago, our first holiday on Menorca, and then finally the Gavilanes Hotel.
Those big cliffs. Bunch of frost here.
Gavilanes Hotel, built at the same time as what is now called the Ceutadella Menorca in Santo Tomas. And the two hotels, the twin hotels on Soutbow Beach, the Milanus Pinguinus, again, the sole hotel now, but actually built by a company some of you may just remember, called Clarkson's Court Line. Now the pink aircraft, the pink cruise ship, and they went bust 33 years ago. The only multi-story blocks that have been built on Menorca. Those two twin hotels of 20 stories high in Soutbow, that beautiful 5-kilometre beach. They had permission for a further 22 hotels along that sandy beach. It would have been a disaster for this island. When they went bust, it gave the islanders time to think what they were actually doing. And of course, when they did restart tourism here on Menorca, they decided to plan it out very carefully. 23 resorts, no high-rise, and it's only within those resort boundaries that there's any building allowed on Menorca. There were many reasons why we became a reserve of the biosphere, and I hope during the course of the day you'll realise why. Many of those reasons will become apparent during the course of the day. Please to make sure that you are back on time. It's so much nicer for everyone. It's out of respect for those people already on the coach, and also literally if we have to wait for anyone, we'd have to cut the next stop a little bit shorter, which is always a pity. Menorca is two islands. And Menorca is the smaller of the two Islas Baleares. Two other convention statements you may think, but absolutely true. Today you'll find out why. You're all staying here on the Miggiorno side of Menorca. It's named after the Miggiorno, the midday wind, which during the summer months will spring up about 1 o'clock. And although it's a warm wind, a southerly wind, having started its life on the deserts of North Africa, it's cooled by the 195 miles of water as it comes across from Algeria. It brings the temperatures down somewhat from where they'd easily be exceeding 40 degrees to a sort of sensible, and I say in inverted commas, sensible 33 to 35 degrees. The Miggiorno side of Menorca is a flat limestone plateau